All right, so let's move on to our main topic for tonight. So tonight is all about opt-in pages, lead magnets, and all of those sort of things that generate, will hopefully generate leads and inquiries for us. So let me just bring up my screen here. Now I've got a, well, this is the wrong screen, I think. Let's have a look. Okay, let's try that again. Now, I do have some information and some processes to share with you today. And but also I want to make it reasonably interactive too. So if you've got questions on the on the way through, feel free to drop them into chat or put up your hand, unmute yourself, and ask away. This is a quite a big topic, so we'll get through as much of it as we can. We may not get through all of the detail that we'd like to, but we'll certainly get through as much of it as we can. The goal is really to start to demystify some of this lead magnets, landing pages, and opt-in forms stuff, and really it's those that are really successful generating leads, inquiries, and sales, using lead magnets, landing pages, and opt-ins, online marketers. So there's a lot of people out there teaching this stuff, and there are online businesses that this is one of the predominant ways that they gather leads and inquiries and new customers. But before we kick off, just interested to know who here, by a show of hands, let's just bring on gallery view so I can see, who here has got some form of opt-in on their website or download on their website? Okay, so there's about half of us here have got some form of opt-in on the website. When we talk about opt-ins, how many people are giving something away on their website? Show of hands again. So, okay, so there's a few of us. How many of us have just got a form there where people put their email address in, but they're not getting anything? So it might be a newsletter, it might be a subscriber or something like that. Okay, so a few of us there. Okay, all right. So in the old days, when I'm talking about the old days, I'm talking about 20 years ago. And this is when I was reasonably new to the online stuff. There weren't many opt-ins on opt-in forms, primarily because there weren't many opt-in forms online. So no one sort of really knew about it. Today, it's getting harder and harder to get opt-ins because there's lots of opt-in forms online. So, and if you look at your own behavior, that's probably a good guide as to what other people are doing. So when you go to visit websites, how often do you put your name and email address and details in to get something off the website? Does that happen often, or is it something that you just do for something you're particularly interested in? So I see some shakes of heads and some nods here. So so have a look at your behavior, and probably your behavior is going to be similar to, your clients and customers' behavior to some extent. I know that I'm a wee bit different in the sense that I'm in the web development space and the online space. So I opt in for all sorts of stuff because I'm interested in not only what the information they're delivering, but how they do it, and sort of reverse engineering their processes. But normal people will generally opt in for things. Some are suspicious, some are reasonably okay giving away their details. And as you can see, with the amount of data that Google collects on us and some of the social media networks, people are reasonably okay giving away their personal information. So let's go back to our these slides. All right, how many people, just as another question, who here has got a wildly successful opt-in sort of page or lead magnet? So if you've got something that's wildly successful, just drop a yes into chat. If yours isn't wildly successful and could do with some work, and you'd like to get it to be something that consistently brings in new leads and customers, just drop into chat, needs work. or just work? Just so I know. Okay, so some work needs work. Needs work. Okay, there's an interesting comment from David here. I opt in, but I use a personal old email. So yeah, so that's definitely one thing to be aware of, that people have got different email addresses for different purposes. I have an opt-in email address. All right, changing email provider needs work, needs work, needs work, needs work. Definitely needs fixing. Okay, I use worked opt-in email. Yeah, look, I use a combo of a personal email and work email. I have a special opt-in email for my work email as well too. So I'm not using my standard email address. It means I can filter the email. So you need to know that people do use different emails and they do filter them. So that's just part of the journey. All right. So the thing with opt-in forms and lead magnets is what I see people do on a fairly regular basis is they decide, I need to get some more leads and inquiries. I know that having a lead magnet works, and having, say, a PDF download or something of that ilk there works. They create one and say something like Canva or Word, or turn into a PDF, put up a form on their website with a generally an email address, sometimes a first name and email address, and that's about where it stops. So really what's been put in place there, and it doesn't work very well. So really what is put in place is just a mechanism to collect an email address in exchange for some information. So for some people, that's really the extent of their knowledge about an opt-in form and an opt-in process. But that there is a very, very small part of the process. That really is just a mechanism to have someone leave an email address and give you their details. So, I think the most important thing is to think about, what's your objective with any form of a download or opt-in? What's your ultimate objective? So if I ask you that question, what do you think the ultimate objective of a lead magnet is, for instance? So just drop it into chat. Why do you do it? Or maybe just open yourself up. Just let's have some conversation. Just unmute yourself and tell me what you think the primary objective is. Okay, collect emails, get email address, yeah. Get on my email address so I can control the communication going forward. Yes, that's getting close. Yep. Okay, so that's sort of not the objective. Getting email addresses is not the objective. Make the sale is closer to the objective, but you don't generally do that in an opt-in form. Developing relationships, that's part of it too. Yep. So yeah, to ultimately make the sale, absolutely. So that is bang on. There is no other reason to have an opt-in form on your website in business generally, but then to get a new customer and to make a sale. That's what it's for. But there's a whole process between getting people to fill in the opt-in form right through to making the sale. So you can't really expect to have an opt-in form there which goes straight to the sale. Like if you think about meeting people in business or developing relationships, so, like I've been away on holiday with some of my clients. We've had a group of us gone away on holiday, but it's sort of it takes a while to get that point. It's sort of a little weird if you go and meet someone at a networking function and say, "Hey, I like you. Let's go away on holiday." So. But yet that's how some people's opt-in pages are sort of designed. It's like it's just too far into the process. So you've got to think about your final objective is going to be to make a sale. Work your way back from that sale. What's the step that they do immediately before buying from you? So that step might be they pull out their wallet. What's the step, or their credit card? What's the step before that? They've made a decision on the product that they're going to purchase. What's the step before that? They've had a look at 2 or 3 different options. What's the step before that? They've been looking for companies that are able to provide the product. So you step it all the way back to the point where they don't know you. So if you think about that, online, people don't know who you are because they don't know you. They've got no idea whether they like you or not, and they certainly don't trust you yet because there's no relationship or credibility established. So your lead magnet is going forwards. If you reverse engineer it back to the lead magnet, then you've got a customer journey to then take them forward from, when they put their name into a lead magnet and download that information, what is the next thing they want? So by going backwards, you can then sort of work it out forwards. Sounds like a lot of work, doesn't it? Well, it is. So if you can think about your end objective being to make that, it's not only to make the sale, but think about what's the lifetime value of this customer. How long are they likely to stick with me? How much money are they likely to spend with me? And what's going to be their experience with me? That really is the end objective, is that point there, your lifetime value of your customer. And they go through a journey to get through to that. So when someone enters in their name and address in your opt-in form, your objective is to get them to that point there where they've bought everything that you've got to offer them, and serve them the best way you possibly can. So the opt-in form is just the first part of that journey. So that's your ultimate objective. Your primary objective might be to build a list, to get some leads, to get some inquiries, probably not to make some sales, but that'll come down a bit later on, to solve a problem. And generally people are there to, because they've got an issue, a problem, something they want to solve. All right. That makes sense. I mean, this is sort of like the fundamental area that people forget. Like when people create a lead magnet, they forget about what the objective is. They think, I know some stuff, I'm going to put it into a document and I'm going to let people download it, which is really the wrong approach, because people don't care what you know. They only care about the issue and the problem they've got right at the moment. And is there something there that can help me solve it? So that's why you want to go to your end objective, is where is this client traveling to? What's their starting point? All right. So, and you may have a sales process too. If you map out the sales process that you've got, if it starts with a lead magnet, what's the call to action? What's the invitation? Once they've downloaded the lead magnet, how do you get in touch with them? How do you allow them to get in touch with you so it feels like they're initiating the conversation rather than you stalking them? And what are appropriate sorts of follow-up? So it could be email, phone call, video, and there's with all the apps and tools that we've had over the past few weeks, there's lots of apps and tools that you can include in your follow-up sequence with your lead magnet. So next thing to think about is, so the reason why you want your final objective is to think about the fact that really you've got some form of ascension through your business. People generally enter at one point and they exit at another point. And usually they will spend more money with you the longer they're with you. So your ultimate goal might be to sell them, for instance, what's on this sheet here, the VIP product. You might have a $10,000 product. That might be your ultimate goal. But no one's going to buy that if they don't know who you are, what problem it solves, whether it's the right solution for them, whether you can deliver what's promised. Process they go through for it. So it might be that the ascension is they get something for free from you. So it might be a PDF document. It might be a video series, a video course. Might be a cheat sheet or a checklist. They're all good giveaways. So you've just got to think about what's going to be most useful for them. So for a real estate agent, for instance, I'll pick on the real estate industry because they're notoriously bad at these sort of opt-ins. And this applies to all industries as well too, is that you've got to think what's going to be most helpful for them. So someone that's buying a house, what's most helpful for them at the point in time that they're starting to look for a house? Let's get some ideas out as to what is most important to them right now before they even start looking. drop it into chat, or even open your mic and let me know what do you think is most important. Someone's coming to buy a house, they haven't looked at anything yet. What's important? Could it be location?
Just areas where they're going to buy it.
Where they're going to buy it, absolutely. What other factors are there? How many bedrooms? Have they got kids? No kids? How many bedrooms have they got? They're working from home. So do they need a home office? How many cars have they got? What sort of price bracket are they looking at? Are they looking for something modern or something modern and low maintenance? Are they looking for a
could even be school catchments.
School catchments, absolutely. Yeah, that's a big one too. So if you think about that, my experience with real estate agents, not to tar them all with the same brush, is that they start to present you with properties, and often the properties are not within what you're looking for, but they just often got a scattergun approach. But what if you were to offer them at the start of the journey, here's a checklist to help you decide what's going to be the best property for you to buy, and that checklist includes things like your school zones, how many bedrooms you want, what sort of property do you want, where is it located, where do you work, what sort of facilities and amenities do you want. So just having a whole checklist of, and it might be something that you rate from say 1 to 5, 1 being the most important or critical, 5 being, look, it'd be nice to have, but it's not really that critical to my decision. So the real estate agent has given someone a way to start to narrow down out of all of the properties that are available, which are going to be the ones that are going to be most suitable for them. So that they've given them a tool to help them as they're looking through the websites to be able to filter down things that are going to be just important for them. Now, problem with that is that some of those properties are not going to be sold by that real estate agent. They're going to be listed by another company. But and you're going to lose, and they're going to lose customers anyway that way. So regardless of what they've got, if they haven't got the right stock, they're never going to sell. So, but they've given them a checklist. Now, what do you think happens if the checklist is valuable like that? What do you think happens to that checklist? A couple of things happens. One is they remember, or sometimes they remember that you've given it to them. If it's a really useful one, they'll give it away to someone else. So what's happening now? They're starting to do your marketing for you. So if they start to give it away. So if you've got a checklist or some sort of download there that people are happy to give away, you're onto a winner, because it's solving problem for not only for them, but for other people. They're introducing other people to you. So you've got to think about, what are some reasonably universal problems for your avatar, for your core market, that people would be happy to download and give it to someone else. That's why I like checklists and cheat sheets. So all you need to do, so remember that starting back at the very early part of the journey of someone looking for a house. So think for your products and services, what's a very early part of the journey that people have before they even think about buying your products and services. So that's probably a good place to start with creating your checklist. And a good place to look for that is to have a look at what people are searching for. So just have a look in Google search, like predictive search. Just start to throw in some things that you think they're searching for, and you'll start to see some ideas drop down in the predictive search. And the other place you can go is answerthepublic.com, and you can start to search for some keywords there. And answerthepublic.com gives you a whole lot of suggestions and ideas about what people are actually searching for, and that's a good place to write a document that becomes your lead magnet, because people are actually searching for those things. If you haven't heard of Answer the Public before, make a note of it, go and visit it. It's an amazing site. So one of the decisions you might want to make with your where people start is whether you make something free or whether you charge something for it. So a lot of lead magnets and downloads are free. Problem with free is that you get freebie seekers. So the people out there that just download stuff. So lots of So people will download it, that may not necessarily be your ideal client, may not really be interested in it, is never going to be a client. That's sort of okay. They may be a client one day, so it just really depends on your industry. But what you might want to try is, what if you sold it? What if you sold a valuable piece of information for $5? Just, $5. I mean, it's hardly going to make you rich, but it's enough of an investment in that for people not to really worry about pulling out their credit card to pay $5. But by paying $5, they demonstrate an interest in what it is that the lead magnet or video series is covering. So they've demonstrated enough that they're interested in it. They've probably got some issue or problem around it because they've pulled out their wallet. It's only $5. So that's a first qualification criteria. So if you're giving away something for free, try putting a price tag on it and see what happens. The one caveat I would have with that is make it really valuable. So the value of it is at least, it's at least 100 times, no, 100? No, it's at least 10 times what the price of it is, the value of it is. So if it's a $5 thing, make it something that they'd be prepared to pay $50 for. So it's of tremendous value. So it might not be just a lead magnet that'll do it. A book would. Like if you've written a book, give that away for $5. So people pay sort of between $20 to $40 for a book. So give it a $5 value, and it's almost like a no-brainer. Particularly if they're interested in what your your services or the problem that the book solves. Could be a mini course or a video series. So if you've made sort of a tutorial set of videos or some mini course, sell that for $5. That's no one would expect that you would sell something for $5. You'd easily sell something like that for $50 through to about $197. So if you've got valuable content like that, they become really good lead magnets. And the reason why they're better than just throwing together a quick PDF is that you're giving people real value that solves their problems and issues, gives them a real experience of your expertise and credibility because you've written it and you've given it to them, and they've paid you to get a good chunk of information that they couldn't get for free anywhere else. That making sense? So so you've probably heard the expression, give away all of your best stuff at the front end. So what that means is, and you can sell your best stuff at the front end for a low price. So for instance, if you've got a framework that you operate off, I'm just looking at Jeff at the moment. Jeff he's the reputation marketer. He's got a framework there for people to get reviews for their business so that it develops credibility for them. Now that framework, you can sell that framework as a reasonably long form book. So let's say 20,000 words. That's not a big book. Sell the framework which tells them what to do and why they should be doing it and how it can benefit them. But you don't need to give them the step-by-step how to do it. So just giving them the fundamentals. So you're demonstrating that you really know what you're talking about, and you've convinced them through reading this that they need to have some form of reviews. And then the next stage of your ascension might be some form of upsell after they've downloaded it. Now the upsell might be something like a step-by-step video series about how to set up your reviews. So you might go through let's say the Google review platform and just record maybe 10 or so videos, which becomes a mini course, and you sell that for $97 or $50 or $47 or something at the back of it. Some people will buy the initial product for $5. They'll think, great, this will tell me what to do. I do need a step-by-step, so they'll go and buy the upsell for you. And probably if you're running ads to this, you will cover the cost of your ads just in selling the front-end product or your front-end lead magnet and your video course. Probably won't make any money, but you'll at least cover the cost of it, which means that you can scale up. You can start to run more ads to more people, knowing it's going to pay for itself. And if someone doesn't buy the upsell, you can then go and offer them a downsell, which might be payment terms. So I'm generally not big on discounting for the downsell, but if you're selling something for $97, your downsell could be, hey, look, instead of paying $97 up front, 3 payments of $37, and we'll throw in a extra something else. So, and you'll get some of those who'll buy it. And then your core product is, you'll get some people. So you think, well, why would I do that? Like I've just told people how to do the service that I sell. Well, the reality is there are a lot of people who just won't do it. It's still too hard for them. Majority of people, it's just too hard. They want a done for you service. So for someone like Jeff, his core product might be setting up their Google reviews process. Might charge $1,000. I don't know what it is, Jeff. So I'm making up some of these numbers. But your core product might be $1,000, and you offer that at the back end, saying, if you want the done for you, then here it is at $1,000, and you'll get some takers on it. So these things here, and then your VIP product, it might be a coaching program, or it might be something else, which is your $10,000 program. These things don't all happen all at once, though. So this is a process. So you might have, say, your low price product and your upsell with a downsell might be the first thing. Then as you progress through, then as people get the opportunity to watch the videos that you've got, to read the material that you've got, they then you start to say, hey, look, we do have a done for you service. So that becomes part of your process. Can you see how that works? So your lead magnet is not just something cheap that you throw together and throw up on your web page. It's part of a process where you're starting to create a guided customer journey through to the main product and service that you offer. So you're giving them an experience at a low price but high value, and you're taking them through that journey. Okay, so we've just covered off that free versus paid lead magnet. And by the way, does anyone here charge for their a low price for a lead magnet, or some form of front end lead generation? Just drop us a sort of yes in chat if you do actually charge for it. Okay, maybe no one at the moment. So definitely. If you want to test it, I wouldn't say switch everything overnight, but do a split test. Try some where you charge and some that you don't. Okay. Oh, so Jane, yes, $9.90 for a pre-recorded webinar on quoting. Fantastic. So on quoting, it's that's a high value proposition. People really struggle with quoting. Certainly for service industries, they're looking for a framework, a process, a template, a formula to be able to do that. And at $9.90, that's a giveaway price, but it gets you some pre-qualified leads coming in. What if you're selling hard products like seating? So Peter, so you sell airport seating. You're obviously not going to be selling product at the front end. But you may be selling something like some form of layout. So how do you, so it could be something to do with selecting the right seating for the airport. It might be something on decision making. It might be something on procurement. So I would imagine that there are a range of competitors out there all selling sort of seating for airports and venues and those sort of things there. But having a document that helps people to make a decision, which is going to save them several thousands of dollars, because these are not small purchases. If you sell, and you're in the B2B space, so you mightn't sell it for $10. You could probably sell that for anywhere between $100 to $500. B2B is different to B2C. If you're a business to consumer, think about your $5 to $10 or $5 to $50 price range. If you're business to business, then you can think about sort of like, $5 would be really low end, up to, people would be prepared to spend up to, say, $500. But don't think about the product and your solution. Think about what's the problem that you're solving. So if you can get to the nub of what is the problem that they really have, and what are the issues they have in solving that problem, and you can give them a framework for doing it, then you're onto a good process there for some form of upfront lead magnet or process. All right, well, let's come to your website. So the website has got at least 4 pages for some form of lead magnet. It's not just the Optin form and a delivery page. If you're doing that, then you're shortchanging people of their experience. So let me just stop sharing my screen. I'm going to go over to one of my websites that I've got some lead magnets on. Let's go with this one here. If we can find it, it's hidden behind here. All right. Okay, can you see a page there with a book on it? Just give us a thumbs up. Yep. All right, so that's not. So here's an example of an Optin page. It's not the perfect example. This is one that we're building at the moment, but just to give you some idea as to the process and formula. Obviously, a copy on your landing page needs to speak to what people's issues and problems are that they're looking to solve. So this one here is a landing page, 8 simple steps to get free exposure from Google without paying for it. So people in business, that there's possibly a headline that would attract their attention. I mean, who wants to get exposure on Google without paying for it? Not ads. And so then we've got a description. Download the free guide to get access to step-by-step video trainings and a downloadable guide. So it's 2 things. They get video trainings and a downloadable guide. So immediately, this has got some value to it. So step-by-step training. How do I do it? And the rest of it is so credibility down the bottom, and we've got some statements. 40% increase in phone calls, 64% exposure on business-related searches, 143% increase in map listings. So guess what I'm talking about? Yes, it's Google My Business and Google Maps. So they click the button there. They pop in their first name and email address. Yep, send it to me. So this is the part that we're going to start charging for this now. We've run some tests on it. We've run some ads to it. And it's getting traction. So it's getting a reasonable click-through rate, and the ad cost is not too high. And so people are downloading it. So once they've filled that out, next step is, and I think the steps are a wee bit early, but we're testing it anyway. I think there's probably another page in between this. But this one here is one help to get your Google My Business listing to produce results. Let us show you how to use Google to attract more clients and customers and answer all your questions during a free virtual strategy session. So this one here is a strategy session. So they've downloaded the information. Here we're offering them a strategy session. So it's going to be a percentage of people that say, oh, look, no, I don't really want that. I'll just take the video training, the ebook. There'll be other people that are further along and say, hey, look, that might be quite useful. What is it? It's free. Well, this particular one's free. I'll book in for a strategy session, which will take them through to a booking page. So not everyone's going to do that. It's probably a little bit earlier. I'll probably put something else in between that, like some other value add, possibly even split up. And so these are all tests that you can run, possibly split up so that we just offer the book as the first on the first landing page. The step-by-step trainings in order to set up your listing, that might be a good offer to have on page 2 which we might sell at, I don't know, $27 or $15 or something like that there. So a step-by-step walkthrough. We'd have to build up a page that's got sort of more of a description about it, so they know what they're getting. Because so that could be you know, a 1-2, and then the third one could be some form of strategy session, which again could be paid or free. In this case here, it's probably free. If you're a coach or consultant, then possibly you have a free page like this as well too. And then your last page is your delivery page. So so here's your delivery page, which is where they get the ebook. And on this particular page, there are the 3 training videos on how to set up a Google My Business listing. So so that's a sequence through. So the thing with this lead magnet or the series, it's not about selling Google My Business listings. So Jeff, you can have that. This is about getting people interested in thinking about their websites and getting their websites to convert better. So how does this help? Well, this is an immediate need, and the people want business right now. So they're looking for new inquiries and new customers. Google My Business is one of the quickest, easiest ways to do it. What they'll realize down the track is once they've got it set up, is that Google My Business has got to lead somewhere. It's got to lead to their website. And a lot of people's websites are not in a position where they're going to sort of convert well. So the big product that we can sell here, or the service we can sell, is website development off the back of something like this here. So this deals with their immediate problem and immediate need. They don't want a website. They've already got a website. Is it working? Yeah, they say it's working. But this one sort of warms them up to say, hey, look, you're getting all this traffic from Google My Business. You're getting your reviews, but your website's letting you down. How about we have a look at that? So does that make sense? So we're not leading with the main product or service, we're leading with an initial problem or issue that they've got. And then we'll get to the main product or service later on. So if you think about your business, what are the problems that people have that they have to have solved before they come and buy what you're offering them, before that or your solution becomes relevant? Because if you can help them with that, then the sale into your main core product and service becomes a whole lot easier, because you've already built up a whole lot of know, like, and trust in an area there that's not your main area. That makes sense? So think about that for your businesses. Is just think wider than just your own products and services in terms of, you know, being able to create some information that might be of value to them. All right. And you'll see, and so what happens here too is from this page here, as soon as they click this button and enter their details, I'll give you a look inside our CRM. So, the first thing is this one here, an email goes out inviting people to it. So, but the next stage is this one here, number 2. So as soon as they filled out that form, probably can't see this this well because it's quite small. So I'll walk you through it. They get added to the CRM. They get applied a tag, which is to a list, a Google My Business tag. So what we then do is we've got to wait. We're going to wait for 5 minutes on this. The reason why they're waiting for 5 minutes is we want them to get to this page here. When we go back, to go and book a strategy session. So before they get to their emails and get distracted, they'll probably go to the emails and check it first. Email hasn't arrived yet. They go back to the to this page here, and we want them to have a look and read through this sort of strategy session, whether they book it or not. And it could be that you know, the upsell to the videos. So we wait 5 minutes, and then we deliver them the link to the page with a guide. So the mistake that some people make is they take people from lead magnet, sign up form, to the delivery page. Don't do that, because you'll lose some people. So what you want to know is, when you deliver that lead magnet, who actually clicks on it to get the lead magnet? That's your first qualification criteria. Anyone that doesn't click on it is probably not that interested in it. So you're not going to spend a lot of time with them. Someone that does click on it and download it, they've got another tick as to being someone that is a prospect for you. Does that make sense? So the reason why you don't send them straight to the thank you page is so you can measure people's behavior. So they get an email. Can't show you that at the moment. So they get an email there which delivers the product, which takes them through to this page here. And this is where they download it, and they've got all the videos. Then following that there, we wait a day, and for this particular one, we've just removed that particular tag, but we then go and add them to another campaign, which I haven't got up here at the moment. That other campaign then takes them, oh, actually, this is the campaign here. There's four emails in this particular campaign here. If we can get through to there, let's take you through to the campaign called the Google Exposure Guide. This particular one's got 4 emails at the moment. It'll have about 9 to 11 emails in this one. So the first one's going to be their delivery. Come on, emails, there we go. First one's just going to be a delivery. Next email is one that is the following day, and in that email there, it's just a short email. It says, "Hey, did you get the link to the Google Exposure Guide?" Simple as that. And then you add into it. If it got lost, here's the link again. So the reason why you do that, you've asked a question, and that question, did you get it, gets an email response back from some people. So some people email back and say, yes, I did, thanks. Now, how valuable is that? So anyone that emails you back on something like this says that, hey, look, thanks, I'm interested. They're starting to engage with you. So you're looking for some of these behaviors here, because these are the people that are probably going to go further through the customer journey with you. Anyone that doesn't click on this again and doesn't download it are probably never going to do it. So you're able to segment them so you can focus your attention on those people that are important. So I've got some stats here that tell me that for the first email, 47.8% of people opened it. So that's a pretty good open rate. Out of those, 39% of people clicked on the link. So it's 39% of people that got their guide clicked on the link to download it. The second time round, so did it download okay? We had 35% of people opened that email. So it's down slightly, which you'd expect, but 10% of those people opened it. So it meant that we picked up another 10%. So that makes, instead of just the 39% on the first email, actually brings us up to 49% of people. Almost half of the people have downloaded this document. So that's good information to have, isn't it? So you know that probably if you're getting half the people downloading it, you're on track with it. And then we've got some other emails. We'll run through some of those other emails later on. And then what the other emails do is that it takes them through a process of saying, hey, you didn't book your strategy session. Do you need a strategy session? Is it something you're interested in? So we keep offering that in a soft sell way. If they confirm and they do book it, here's the confirmation page. We don't send them those emails anymore. We send them another email series, which is about, you booked a strategy session. Here's what to do to prepare for it. So a lot of moving parts here, isn't there? So your lead magnet, can you see how you're building it up from just a simple opt-in form to delivering a PDF document into being something that's helping to develop a customer journey? So you're taking people through a guided customer journey. And so that's why it's really important to know what your objective is at the start. Where do you want to take them to? So what's the destination? So if your destination is a VIP client, now you're starting the process to get them through to be one of your VIP clients through having a lead magnet at the front end. Make sense? All right. So that's not the definitive guide as to what you should be doing, but it just gives you an example of what a page looks like or a process looks like. All right. So if you think about your CRM emails, what sort of emails do you deliver? Now, the thing with it is they're not just all pitch emails, not all buy my stuff. It's along the same vein as the information that you have delivered. So that first email we've delivered is, here's the ebook, here's the link to it. Second one is, did you receive it? So you're inviting an email response from them. Third one is what I call a problem solution problem. So what a problem solution problem is the problem is that they wanted more exposure on Google. So the solution to that is to set up your Google My Business profile. So knowing the solution has now created another problem. And that problem is, well, how do I set up a Google My Business profile? Where do I go? What do I fill in? What are the forms? So what you want your emails to do, and you can have a number of problem emails in there where you give them a solution to the problem, which creates another problem, which then you've got a solution for it. So the solution for that might be that they've got training videos. Okay, we've got a step-by-step training video process to set up your Google My Business profile. So there's a solution to that problem, but that's created another problem. How do I know? You give me a step-by-step. How do I know what information needs to go in there? Do I have to have a video? Do I have to create a video? What sort of images do I upload? So now you've created another problem. So all of those problem solution problems should be guiding people through to doing it themselves. So you're giving them all the tools they need to do it for themselves, but you're also, for those that say, hey, look, this is too much, I give up, I actually want to get it done. I know it's important. I just need someone to do it for me. So that leads them back to you to your done for you service. So you can see how that path is starting to form. And then you can throw in sort of a transformation shift or some paradigm shift as well too. So in your business, things are normally done a particular way by 80% of the practitioners in your business. So for instance, what's an example? If you're, let's work with tea, selling tea bags. I was a tea connoisseur online here. Traditional model to sell tea is in a shop. People go to a shop, a supermarket, to go and buy some herbal tea. The problem with that model is people got to leave their home, they've got to hop in the car, they've got to travel to the supermarket, they've got to go and choose the tea. The tea's out of stock. They've got to choose something else they didn't really want, and so on and so on. They get back home, they put it in the cupboard and make the cups of tea, lasts for a month, it runs out, they've got to go through the whole process again. So a transformation shift there, or paradigm shift with shopping online, you can eliminate going to the supermarket, you can eliminate sort of teas not being in stock, you can go online, you can get you can order online, and what's more, you can buy it on subscription, which means that we know you know when you're going to run out, and we'll just restock you before you need to order it again. That's a transformation shift, and in that transformation or that paradigm shift, you can say we can deliver this to you quicker and cheaper than you can the supermarket, because we don't have to add all of those overheads on that the supermarket or a tea shop does. Or the paradigm shift is the supermarkets only offer cheap stuff because people expect cheap prices. That's why the tea tastes insipid and not very nice. We source all of our stuff from the best places. Yes, it costs you a wee bit more. If you buy the same stuff in the supermarket, it probably costs you a lot more. But this way you can order exactly what you want. You get it delivered to you. You don't have to hop in your car. You'll always have it in stock. So that's a paradigm shift or some sort of transformation. So think about, what are you doing that's disruptive in the industry? It's different to everybody else. Bring that into an email. Case studies are good. So people that have had success. I use is the Rudyard Kipling formula. So I was lost, but I'm found. So that formula is, I was in a position where I had this problem. I discovered this product, service, program, whatever it was, that solved all my problems, and now I'm in a happy place. So that's really the general case study formula. And then FAQs. Think about all of the questions that people ask you. Put them into an FAQ email. So like, I can't afford it. It's too expensive. How do I know it's the right for me? Will it sort of suit this particular condition? So put that in. And then last email is your hard offer. But throughout your other emails, you've got soft offers as well. Now, a soft offer is something like, if you'd like some help with this, or you'd like to know more, just hit reply and send me an email. That's a soft offer. It's an invitation for a discussion. A hard offer is sending them to your sales page saying, we've got a special on today. It's 2 for the price of 1, or whatever it happens to be. There's your hard offer, and then you might follow up with some other emails with your hard offer. But there's a general email sequence of 7 emails that works reasonably well. The whole idea of it is not so much to sell, but to develop the know, like, and trust of people, so that they get to know who you are. You're giving them information that's helpful and valuable. So don't skimp on the information. Really give them the best stuff, so that they really feel like you've got their best interests at heart. And the other thing you can do too is just add some additional value. So, emails don't have to be emails. Emails can be things like videos. So, with, Typeform? Typeform, we've got some great videos that you can record and send to people, and they're interactive videos. So think about that. Think about in it, what other helpful information could you deliver people that would enhance what they've been given in the first place. So if it's just a downloadable document, you might add a checklist. It might be a video. So think about different mediums you can use in your emails as well. People are overwhelmed with emails in their inbox. You need to be able to stand out. Just like social media, you're trying to stop the scroll. You need to stand out in the inbox as well too. All right, and then your last thing is, how do you get people to your website and to your offer? And this is probably the place that most people really fall down. If you have an average offer with a reasonably good sequence, like an email sequence in behind it, that will outperform an exceptional lead magnet that is getting no traffic to the website. So think about how you drive traffic. So, and there's really only 2 ways. One is organic. So on your social media platforms, you can put it out there organically, in groups and pages and that sort of thing, or you can pay for it. Now, I can tell you from experience that organic traffic takes a while to get people to subscribe, so it's a slow burn. If you really want to get some real traction, pay for traffic. So pay for Facebook ads, pay for Instagram ads. Google ads is a different thing, but once you've got a good formula, then you can pay for it. So your objective when you're paying for ads, first thing is to test it. So I'll run a lead magnet for maybe sort of 3, 4, 5 days, up to about 5 days. Throw in sort of several different versions and throw some money at it, and maybe spend $100 or a couple of $100 just to see whether it's got any interest. So you'll very quickly find over that period of time whether you've hit the mark and whether you're getting the results that you want. If you're not, stop the ads, change your offer, change your lead magnet, or probably not change your lead magnet, but change the copy on your page, and then turn on the ads again and test it. So running ads is a very good, quick way to test your offer. So that one that I just showed you before, that on our site, which isn't finished yet, we did a test and trial of it. In the space of 2 days, we got 10 people in that downloaded it, and we had I think we had 3 responses. So just in the space of 2 days, on a budget of what were we spending? of $5 an ad. So it wasn't a big budget. It's only a small budget, $5 an ad. We had 3 ad sets running and a total of 4 ads in each ad set. And the ads are the same. So we were just running the same ad to different audiences. So running it to small business owners, to people that are admins of a business page, and just the general business. So that got us enough traffic to say, yes, we're on the right track. This looks like it's got traction. Let's keep building it out. Let's develop it and start and continue that developing that customer journey. So don't be afraid of paid traffic. Just don't spend lots of money on it. Use it to test. Once you're like if you're selling your lead magnet, what your ideal result there is to have the sales of that and maybe your upsell to cover the cost of the ads. If you can cover the cost of the ads, so your ads are costing you nothing, then you can scale up as much as you like. You can start to if you're spending $100 a week, you can spend $1,000 a week, knowing that you're going to get that $1,000 back again in people paying for the lead magnet. And that's one of the good reasons for having people pay for it. Not only are you qualifying them, if they're paying for it and you're running ads to it and you're getting the downloads, you know it's working. And the third benefit is that it's paying for your marketing, so your marketing is free. That makes sense? All right, so some of my favorite tools for creating some of these documents. First one is otter.ai, so we'll throw in some other apps for you as well. Otter.ai, you can just talk into your phone or your computer. It will transcribe what you're talking about on the spot. So if you're not good at writing or sort of writing just is not your thing, just try talking in natural language. Have someone interview you or have a chat with someone else on Otter, and then you can go back, download the transcription, shape it into either an ebook, lead magnet, video series, whatever it is. Canva.com for creating graphics. There's nothing better out there than Canva.com to create your graphics. And my new favorite tool, which Thomas has used successfully as well, is WriteSonic. And so WriteSonic will actually write your copy for you. So if you want copy for your ads, fantastic place to go is that WriteSonic. They'll come out with all sorts of different variations, which you can test on the ad platforms. And they will also write your copy for your landing pages, and it's pretty good as well. All right. Any questions at all, or have I just gone too fast? Anything in chat here? Would you mention, so Peter, would you mention an offer initially or wait till the last email? Look, in your first few emails, I wouldn't be talking about any offers at that point there. I would be just adding even more value. So for whatever they've downloaded or they've bought initially, just add more value to it so that so their perception of you is that you're being helpful and that you've got their best interest in heart, which obviously you have. And then you can start to introduce your soft offer in your sort of middle to later emails, and then your hard offer towards the end. All right. Any other sort of questions or any other rebuttals? I'm all in for that as well.
So your typical ad campaign you were talking about, $5, does that be like on Facebook or Google Ads?
That one there I ran on Facebook. So $5 is not going to get you far very quickly, but it's enough to start to sort of test results. If you want to get results earlier, try spending $10 or $20 a day. That'll just get you results quicker. So you might run it for a week, you might run it for 3 days, but you'll get a quicker run on results.
Yeah.
All right.
So Nick, can I ask a question around the ideal avatar? So you said before about you wouldn't go to a party and ask someone out, do you want to travel the world with me?
Yeah.
But if that person was ready to travel, so they were there, they got their bags packed and they're ready to go, why wouldn't you ask them, do you want to come with me? Given that there's a whole bunch of other criteria as well. So my question is, if the avatar has been qualified really, really tightly, why wouldn't you go for the jugular?
Because it's not about the qualification, but it's about them actually knowing you and trusting you. So you've got to establish that relationship. Generally, as a general, you need to establish some sort of relationship so they know if you're in a room of people that are all travellers, you're the person to travel with.
So why wouldn't you ring them?
Why wouldn't you ring them?
And build the relationship on the phone rather than using digital technology to build the relationship?
Absolutely could. And I think that might be, if you're ringing someone, yeah, that's a cold call. You could definitely go down that track. There's nothing wrong with it. But you're probably spending more time doing cold calls like that than you would if you had some way of qualifying them beforehand so they had an idea as to who you are and you've established your credibility beforehand so that when you do call them, they know who you are. And they've already got a sense of, this person I have some affinity to because of the information they provided, and I actually, there's someone that I'd want to spend some time with.
Okay, thank you.
So it's more just a process, and you're just deciding where you leap into the process. For me, it's about saving time. If I can save time by pre-qualifying people and only speaking to those that more than likely want to travel with me today, then that's a more efficient use of my time.
The reason I ask is I'm about to start a direct mail campaign, not an online campaign.
Oh, yeah.
And we've actually qualified the clients that we want to go through LinkedIn. Yep. And we're mailing them and then following up with a phone call. So it'll be interesting to see, what the spend is and what the conversion rate is in that exercise. Absolutely,
and I think that's really the critical thing there is measuring that so you know what the results are, and then you can compare it against something that's similar. All right, any other questions? Comments? All right, has that been helpful or useful? Yeah. So like my aim with this was really just to get you to think a wee bit differently about lead magnets and the process there. Primarily, not just to throw something together and put up just your cheap stuff and your easy stuff, but to provide a lot of value at the front end so that you very quickly establish credibility and trust, so that it gives an easier path for people to want to do business with you rather than someone else that's just throwing out the cheap stuff. So and it comes back to that adage, give away your best stuff up front first, and you'll have no problems sort of getting clients and keeping it sort of on the back end last. Anyone that's going to take all your front end stuff and do nothing with it and not become a client of yours was never going to be a client of yours to start with. So there are people out there that will just take stuff and never be a client. That's okay. They're your level 1 clients. Your level 3 clients. Level 2 clients are those that want a bit of help. Look, they may or may not contact you. They may need a bit of a push from you to contact them to help them along. Your level 1 clients are the ones that are your best clients. So they're going to gobble up your information. They're going to come to you. They're going to say, hey, I need some more help. And they'll be the ones that will go right through to your VIP program. And so you're looking to get as many of those level 1s as you can. But while you're getting those level 1s, it's always good to get your level 2s and 3s to be paying for some of your marketing to get the level 1s to come through. All right, well, that's a wrap for tonight. I look forward to seeing some of your lead magnets and processes on the way. More than happy for you to jump into a chat on the Business Owners Smashing Online Facebook page to, if you've got a question or create a discussion there about what you're doing, throw it into there. We also have Office hours tomorrow at 10 a.m. So office hours is our Zoom coffee catch up with no agenda and no speaker, but to really talk about some of the practical aspects of, say, tonight. And to get a recommendation, if you're looking for apps and tools to help you with that sort of thing, or just looking for a bit of help, that's the place to come. So the link for that is in chat if you want to sort of come and join us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Otherwise, we'll be on again here, same place, same time next week. There's no daylight saving, so New South Wales, Tasmania, ACT, all the same time as Queensland. New Zealand is, I think, only 2 hours, not 3 hours behind. So back to normal again. Well, anyway, that's it for tonight. The replay of this will be up on YouTube tomorrow, so later tomorrow. So if you want to catch it again, it'll be up on YouTube. The link is in chat as well too. And we'll see some of you tomorrow and some of you next week. Go and enjoy.
Thanks,
Thank you
Nick.
very much, Nick.
Thanks, guys.
Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.